2 Kings, chapter 19. And it comes to pass at King Hezekiah's hearing that he tears his garments and covers himself with sackcloth and enters the house of Yahweh, and sends Eliakim, who is over the house, and Shebna the scribe, and the elderly of the priests, covering themselves with sackcloth, to Isaiah the prophet, son of Amoz. And they say to him, Thus said Hezekiah, This day is a day of distress and rebuke and despising, for sons have come to the birth, and there is not power to bring forth. It may be your God Yahweh hears all the words of the chief of the butlers, which with the king of Asshur his lord has sent him to reproach the living God, and has decided concerning the words that your God Yahweh has heard, and you have lifted up prayer for the remnant that is found. And the servants of King Hezekiah come to Isaiah, and Isaiah says to them, Thus you say to your Lord, Thus said Yahweh, Do not be afraid because of the words that you have heard, with which the servants of the king of Asshur have reviled me. Behold, I am giving a spirit in him, and he has heard a report, and has turned back to his land, and I have caused him to fall by the sword in his land. And the chief of the butlers turns back, and finds the king of Asshur fighting against Libnah, for he has heard that he has journeyed from Lachish. And he hears concerning Tirhakah, king of Cush, saying, Behold, he has come out to fight with you. And he turns and sends messengers to Hezekiah, saying, Thus you speak to Hezekiah king of Judah, saying, Do not let your God, in whom you are trusting, lift you up, saying, Jerusalem is not given into the hand of the king of Asshur. Behold, you have heard that which the kings of Asshur have done to all the lands, to devote them. And are you delivered? Did the gods of the nations deliver them whom my fathers destroyed, Gozan and Haran, and Rezeph, and the sons of Eden, who are in Thelassar? Where is the king of Hamath, and the king of Arpad, and the king of the city of Sepharvaim, Hena, and Eva? And Hezekiah takes the letters out of the hand of the messengers and reads them, and goes up to the house of Yahweh, and Hezekiah spreads it before Yahweh. And Hezekiah prays before Yahweh and says, O Yahweh, God of Israel, inhabiting the cherubim, you are God himself, you alone, to all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made the heavens and the earth. Incline, O Yahweh, your ear, and hear. Open, O Yahweh, your eyes, and see, and hear the words of Sennacherib, which he has sent him to reproach the living God. Truly, O Yahweh, kings of Asshur have laid waste the nations and their land, and have put their gods into fire. For they are no gods, but work of the hands of men, wood and stone, and destroy them. And now, O our God Yahweh, please save us out of his hand, and all kingdoms of the earth know that you are Yahweh, God, you alone. And Isaiah, son of Amoz, sends to Hezekiah, saying, Thus said Yahweh, God of Israel, That which you have prayed to me concerning Sennacherib, king of Asshur, I have heard. This is the word that Yahweh spoke concerning him. Trampled on you, laughed at you, has the virgin daughter of Zion. Shaken the head behind you has the daughter of Jerusalem. Whom have you reproached and reviled, and against whom lifted up a voice? Indeed, you lift up your eyes on high against the Holy One of Israel. By the hand of your messengers you have reproached the Lord, and say, In the multitude of my chariots I have come up to a high place of mountains, the sides of Lebanon, and I cut down the height of its cedars, the choice of its firs, and I enter the lodging of its extremity, the forest of its Carmel. I have dug and drunk strange waters, and I dry up with the sole of my steps all floods of a bulwark. Have you not heard from afar that I made it, from days of old that I formed it? Now have I brought it in, and it becomes a desolation. Ruinous heaps are fortified cities, and their inhabitants are feeble-handed. They were broken down and are dried up. They have been herb of the field, and the greenness of the tender grass, grass of the roofs, and blasted grain before it has risen up. And your sitting down, and your going out, and your coming in, I have known, and your anger toward me. Because of your anger toward me and your noise, it came up into my ears, and I have put my hook in your nose and my bridle in your lips, and have caused you to turn back in the way which you came. And this is the sign to you. Food of the year is the spontaneous growth, and in the second year the self-produced, and in the third year you sow and reap and plant vineyards and eat their fruits. And it has continued, the escaped of the house of Judah that has been left, to take root beneath, and has made fruit upward. For a remnant goes out from Jerusalem, and an escape from Mount Zion. The zeal of Yahweh of hosts does this. Therefore thus said Yahweh, concerning the king of Asshur, he does not come into the city, nor does he shoot an arrow there, nor does he come before it with shield, nor does he pour out a mound against it. In the way that he comes in it he turns back, and to this city he does not come in. A declaration of Yahweh, and I have covered over this city, to save it for my own sake, and for the sake of my servant David. And it comes to pass in that night, that a messenger of Yahweh goes out and strikes 185,000 in the camp of Asshur. And they rise early in the morning, and behold, all of them are dead corpses. And Sennacherib king of Asshur journeys and goes and turns back and dwells in Nineveh. And it comes to pass, he is bowing himself in the house of his god Nisroch, and his sons Adramelech and Sherezer have struck him with the sword, and they have escaped to the land of Ararat, and his son Esarhaddon reigns in his stead.